Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to day number 10 in our 21-day fasting devotional challenge. And we're going to dive deep into the world of faith and spirituality. I'm your host, Pastor Maurice Chavez, and today we're going to be having a powerful devotional to share with you all. So grab your Bibles, grab a cup of tea, find a cozy spot, and let's get started. Our focus today is on the importance of fasting, inspired by a compelling verse from 2 Chronicles 20, verse 3. It says that Jehoshaphat was afraid and set his face to seek the Lord and proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah. Fasting has been a spiritual practice for centuries, commonly associated with self-denial and seeking divine intervention. In this verse, we witness King Jehoshaphat his courageous and faithful response to a threatening situation. He was afraid, but instead of turning to his own devices, Jehoshaphat chose to seek the Lord through fasting. Jehoshaphat's example teaches us that fasting goes beyond simply abstaining from food or certain pleasures. It involves setting our face toward the Lord and humbling ourselves before Him. It's a sincere act of surrender, a deliberate turning away from our ordinary routines, and a wholehearted turning toward God. Fasting enables us to strengthen our connection with God. It intensifies our prayers and deepens our spiritual awareness. As we empty ourselves physically, we create space for God to fill us spiritually. In the moments when our hunger grows, we are reminded of our dependency on God and His sustaining grace. Fasting is like a sacred doorway, allowing us to enter into a deeper communion with our Creator. It paves the way for God to work in our lives in a miraculous way. Through surrendering our physical desires, we open ourselves to spiritual blessings. God has so much more in store for us when we fast. As we reflect on Jehoshaphat's story, we can apply this practice of fasting to our own lives. In times of fear, uncertainty, or even when seeking direction and guidance, fasting can serve as a spiritual powerful tool for breakthrough. It allows us to align our hearts with God's will, seeking His face with a renewed fervor. So my friends, let's be encouraged to follow Jehoshaphat's example. Let's set aside time for fasting, humbling ourselves before the Lord and proclaiming our utter dependence on Him. In doing so, we can experience divine intervention, guidance, and blessing in our lives. Well, that brings us to the end of today's devotional, and I hope that it has touched your hearts and inspired you to dive deeper into the spiritual discipline of fasting. Remember, a genuine and surrendered heart is the key to experiencing God's mighty hand in our lives. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, I pray that God's peace and guidance be with you always. Stay blessed.